the depths of silence, a truth emerges, one that most will never understand, one that you must grasp if you seek true power. You chase shadows, every day you chase shadows, shadows of approval, shadows of acceptance, shadows of validation. Think deeply about this. How many of your actions are truly yours? How many are merely reflections of what others expect? You wake up, check your phone, seeking likes, comments, validation. You dress, wondering what others will think. You speak, carefully measuring your words against the invisible scale of social acceptance. But nobody cares. Nobody truly cares. And this is your liberation. Let me share with you a paradox that has awakened warriors for thousands of years. The more you seek validation from others, the less worthy you feel. The more you chase approval, the further it runs from you. Like trying to grasp water, the tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. You see, society has conditioned you. From your first breath, you were taught to seek external validation. Good boy, good girl, well done. What will others think? These phrases, these simple phrases, they planted seeds in your mind. Seeds that grew into chains, chains that bind you to the opinions of others. But let me ask you this. When you lie on your deathbed, will you count your Instagram followers? Will you measure your life in LinkedIn connections? Will you find peace in the hollow praise of strangers? The trap is subtle, so subtle that most never see it. You think you're making choices, but you're following scripts. Scripts written by society, scripts written by media, scripts written by those who profit from your insecurity. Consider this. Every time you seek validation, you give away your power. Every time you adjust your life to please others, you dim your inner light. Every time you chase approval, you run away from your true self. The pain of living for others, it's a quiet pain, a chronic ache in the soul. You feel it when you're alone, in those rare moments of silence, when the notifications stop, when the noise fades, when you're left with just yourself. But this pain, this discomfort, it's not your enemy, it's your awakening. It's your soul screaming for freedom. Freedom from the prison of other people's expectations. Freedom from the cage of social validation. Here's what most will never understand. True power doesn't seek approval. True strength doesn't need validation. True wisdom doesn't chase recognition. Like a mountain, it simply is. Like the ocean, it simply exists. Like the sky, it simply endures. Now let me share with you the path of self-mastery. A path walked by warriors and sages. A path that leads to true power. First principle, observation. Watch your thoughts like clouds in the sky. Notice how many are truly yours. Notice how many are echoes of others' expectations. Don't judge. Don't react. Simply observe. Second principle, acceptance. Accept that nobody cares as much as you think. Accept that this is beautiful. Accept that this is freedom. Because when nobody cares, you are free to care for yourself. Free to build yourself. Free to become yourself. Third principle, inner authority. Begin to make decisions from your center, not from the periphery of others' opinions. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? What feeds my soul? What makes me stronger? Let these questions guide you. Fourth principle, silent power. Understand this: true power doesn't announce itself. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't need recognition. Like the roots of a great tree, it grows in darkness, in silence, in solitude. Most people will never grasp this truth. They will continue to post for likes, speak for approval, live for validation. But you now know better. You understand that nobody's validation can match your own self-respect. Nobody's approval can replace your self-trust. Nobody's praise can equal your self-knowledge. This is the awakening to self-mastery. This is the beginning of true power. This is the path of the warrior. Remember, when you stop seeking validation, you start finding strength. When you stop chasing approval, you start creating value. When you stop living for others, you start living for real. The world is filled with people seeking validation. Be the one who validates themselves. The world is filled with people chasing approval. Be the one who approves of their own path. The world is filled with people living for others. Be the one who lives for truth. In the end, nobody cares, and that is your greatest power. Nobody cares, and that is your perfect freedom. Nobody cares, so do it for you. Do it for your growth. Do it for your truth. Do it for your power. Let this wisdom sink deep into your being. Let it transform your understanding. Let it awaken your warrior spirit. For in this truth lies your liberation. When you stop seeking what others cannot give, you start finding what you always had within. What do you see when all the noise fades away? When you're finally alone with your thoughts. When there's no one to impress, no one to please, just you, facing yourself in the mirror of consciousness. Solitude reveals truth. In silence, wisdom speaks, but most run from both. They fill every moment with noise, every space with distraction, every silence with empty words. You've learned that external validation is an illusion. Now comes the real work. The work no one sees, the battle no one witnesses, the transformation that happens in silence. Your mind is both the weapon and the battlefield. Each thought meets a soldier in your army. Each breath meets a moment to strengthen your position. Each choice a step toward victory or defeat. Stand guard at the gates of your mind. Watch what enters, watch what leaves. This is the ancient practice of self-observation. See how thoughts arise, like waves from the ocean depths. Notice how emotions surface, like clouds in the vast sky. Observe how reactions form, like shadows at dawn. Your mental chains were forged link by link. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of being alone, fear of being different, fear of your own power. But what are chains to a warrior who understands their nature? What are prison walls to one who sees they're made of mist? Break the first chain. Unconscious reaction, replace it with conscious response. Break the second chain. Self-doubt, replace it with self-observation. Break the third chain. External control, replace it with inner mastery. The ancient warriors knew power flows from stillness, victory comes from patience, strength grows in solitude. Their practices survive time because they speak to eternal truths. Morning ritual, rise before the sun, sit in silence, feel your breath, watch your thoughts, train your mind like you train your body. Everyday battle stance. Stand rooted like a mountain, breathe deep like the ocean, move precise like the wind, strike decisive like lightning. When challenges come, face them like a warrior faces an opponent. Study their form, understand their nature, find their weakness, then strike with precision. Your daily life is your dojo. Every interaction, and the sparring match, every obstacle, and the straining ground, every setback, mine's a lesson in strategy. When others react, you respond. When others rush, you remain still. When others speak, you listen. When others sleep, you train. When others quit, you persist. The warrior's mindset is not about aggression. It's about clarity. Not about force, but about focus. Not about defeating others, but about conquering yourself. Each morning brings a choice. Will you fight your inner battles or surrender to old patterns? Will you stand guard at your mind's gates or let every thought invade? Your weapons are ancient, the sword of attention, the shield of patience, the armor of discipline, the strategy of wisdom. This is how you transform, not in great leaps, but in small conscious steps, not in dramatic moments, but in quiet decisions, not in public victories, but in private disciplines. Every moment tests your resolve. When anger rises, will you observe it? When fear grips, will you face it? When doubt whispers, will you question it? When weakness tempts, will you stand firm? The path of transformation demands everything: your attention, your dedication, your persistence, your courage. But it gives back more: true power, unshakable peace, inner strength, genuine freedom. Remember, the strongest warriors train in silence. The deepest wisdom grows in solitude. The greatest battles are won in stillness. The true path unfolds in silence. Your transformation is not a distant goal. It's happening now, in this breath, in this moment, in this choice. The ancient warriors knew what you're learning. True power rises from within. True strength grows in silence. True victory comes from self-mastery. And now, as you face your next battle, as you step into your next challenge, remember, you are both the warrior and the battlefield, the weapon and the wielder, the student and the master. But knowing the path is not enough. Walking it requires something more, something that separates the warriors from the dreamers. What separates those who rise from those who remain? Not talent, not luck, not circumstances, but something far more powerful. The warrior who trained in silence now stands tall. The mind that observed in stillness now sees clear. The spirit that persisted through darkness now shines bright. Most accept their limitations. They build walls around their potential. They create cages for their dreams. They draw lines they dare not cross. But you understand something different. You've tasted true power. You've felt real strength. You've glimpsed authentic freedom. Your limitations, they're shadows on the wall. Your barriers, they're mist in the morning sun. Your doubts, they're clouds passing through the sky. Self-discipline is not punishment, it's power. Not restriction, but liberation. Not burden, but wings. Watch how it works. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow stronger. Each time you choose purpose over pleasure, you grow wiser. Each time you choose growth over ease, you rise higher. The quiet power comes in moments. When you stand while others sit. When you start while others wait. When you continue while others quit. When you build while others talk. When you act while others dream. Your breath becomes your anchor. Your patience becomes your sword. Your silence becomes your shield. Your discipline becomes your armor. Apply this wisdom. When emotions storm, Minas breathe 3 times. When challenges rise, take 1 step. When doubt whispers, stand still. When fear grips, move forward. The ordinary seek comfort. The extraordinary seek growth. The ordinary avoid pain. The extraordinary transform it. The ordinary accept limits. The extraordinary transcend them. Your morning practice. Rise with purpose. Move with intention. Breathe with awareness. Act with precision. Speak with truth. Your daily conduct. Meet resistance with calm. Meet chaos with order. Meet weakness with strength. Meet fear with courage. Meet hatred with power. This is how you rise. Through small choices, made with great conviction. Through quiet actions performed with full attention. Through silent victories, won in private battles. Remember, power doesn't shout, it whispers. Strength doesn't show, it proves. Wisdom doesn't speak, it acts. You're not here to be ordinary. You're not here to be average. You're not here to be like others. You're here to break through barriers, transcend limitations, transform reality, create possibility. The power you seek, it's in your breath. The strength you need, it's in your stance. The wisdom you chase, it's in your silence. Every moment offers a choice. Rise or remain, grow or stay, transform or settle, create or consume, build or break. Your path is clear. Each breath minus chance to grow stronger. Each step, a chance to rise higher. Each moment minus chance to break free. Each choice, a chance to transform. You've learned the truth about validation. You've walked the path of transformation. Now you stand at the threshold of transcendence. The ordinary world will try to pull you back. The average life will try to tempt you down. The comfortable path will try to seduce you away. But you've tasted something different. You've felt something greater. You've seen something higher. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your path. Not because anyone chose it for you, but because you chose it for yourself. Not because anyone pushed you toward it, but because you pulled yourself through it. Remember, nobody cares about your transformation. Nobody witnesses your private victories. Nobody sees your silent battles. And that is your greatest power. That is your perfect freedom. That is your true strength. Rise now. Rise strong. Rise silent. Rise powerful. For in this moment, in this breath, in this choice, you become what you were always meant to be. A warrior of the highest order. A master of your own destiny. A creator of your own reality.